2005 in science. The year 2005 in science and technology involves some significant events. Astronomy. January 5 Eris, the most massive known dwarf planet in the solar system, is identified by a team the Palomar Observatory in California from images taken on October 21, 2003. Discovery announced July 29, 2005. February 23 astronomers announced the discovery of a galaxy, Virgo A21, that consists almost entirely of dark matter. March 23 two independent teams report the observation of light from planets circling two different stars, using the Spitzer Infrared Space Telescope. Both groups detect a during conjunction, when the planet is moving behind its sun's disk occultation. March 30 one dwarf planet Makemake is discovered in the Kuiper Belt. Discovery announced July 29. April 8 total solar eclipse. May 18 a second photograph by the Hubble Space Telescope confirms the discovery of two new moons of Pluto, Nix and Hydra. July 2027 controversy over the discovery of Haumea. Discovery of dwarf planet Haumea is announced. October 3 annular solar eclipse. October-November Japanese robotic spacecraft Hayabusa makes a rendezvous with near-Earth asteroid 25,143 Itakawa. Biology. June 2 Michael Kosfeld and colleagues publish their findings that oxytocin increases trust in humans. August 31 a first draft of the chimpanzee genome is published. October 5 the Spanish flu virus is reconstructed and shown to be closely related to the avian influenza virus. November 27 French oral and maxillofacial surgeon Dr. Bernard Duvichel and colleagues performed the world's first partial face transplant on a living human, replacing Isabelle Dinoir's face, which had been mutilated by her dog. The stitchbird is reintroduced to mainland New Zealand. Pamela Celsus. Rasmussen and John Celsus. Anderton published Birds of South Asia. The Ripley Guide. Climatology. January 27 scientists behind the Climate Prediction Net project, a distributed computing project run from Oxford University, announced that first results indicate a long-term surface temperature increase due to global warming of between 2 and 11 degrees Celsius as a consequence of doubling carbon dioxide levels, with most of the simulations predicting a temperature rise of around 3.4 degrees C. Computer science. April 23 the first video is uploaded to the online video hosting service YouTube established by Joel Karam, Steve Chen and Chad Hurley. Paleontology. January 13 Chinese paleontologists announced the discovery of fossils of Rapanomamus robustus and Rapanomamus giganticus, mammals that lived 130 million years ago. The fossil discoveries indicate that these mammals preyed on small dinosaurs. February 17 two Ethiopian fossil skulls originally found in 1967 by Richard Leakey, Omo and Omo Roman II, are redated at 195,000 years old, making them the oldest Homo sapiens remains known. December 15 European and Canadian researchers announced the dating of flint artifacts from Pakefield, Suffolk, UK to around 700,000 years ago, representing the earliest unequivocal evidence for a human presence north of the Alps. Physics. This has been named the World Year of Physics in honor of the 100th anniversary of Albert Einstein's and Smirbilli's papers of 1905 and the resulting developments in the field of physics. Many institutions are celebrating by holding lecture series on Einstein, the history of special relativity and quantum mechanics and other public events surrounding the history of physics. Space exploration. January 14 the Huygens probe is successfully sent into the atmosphere of Titan and returns science data to Earth via the Cassini orbiter. It survives the landing on the surface of Titan and sends pictures and other data for more than an hour afterwards. January 26 ESA Smaller Terminus 1 begins sending back close-range pictures of the lunar surface. February 7 NASA announced budget plans in the announcement. they state that the mission to service the Hubble Space Telescope will not take place, and that a robotic mission to deorbit the telescope with a safe descent into an ocean will take place. The Jupiter Icy Moons orbited Juno mission is also cancelled. February 12, ESA successfully launched an Ariane 5 ECA carrying 3 satellites. The previous attempt to launch the new design of rocket in December 2002 failed when the rocket deviated from its course minutes into the flight. July 4, the Deep Impact spacecraft successfully observes the disintegration of its impactor section colliding with the comet Tempel 1. A large number of other telescopes also provide data on this event. Technology. August 29, Navy failures in Greater New Orleans following Hurricane Katrina. Awards. Nobel Prize. Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, Barry J. Marshall and Robin Warren. Nobel Prize in Physics, Roy J. Glauber, John L. Hall and Theodore W. Hench. Nobel Prize in Chemistry, E. Chauvin, Robert H. Grubbs and Richard R. Schrock. Nobel Prize in Mathematics, Peter David Lax. Appointments. January 26, the NIH announced that Elizabeth Nabel will succeed Claude Lenfant as director of the U.S. National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute. February 7, the National Academy of Sciences elects Ralph Cicerin as its next president to begin his 6-year term on July 1. He takes over from Bruce Alberts. February 25. Robert Cubby Harris is appointed as Chief Executive of the UK Institute of Physics. Keith Mason is appointed as the new head of the Particle Physics and Astronomy Research Council in the UK. Daniel Hartley is appointed Director of the Swiss National Science Foundation. April 13, Michael D. Griffin is confirmed by the U.S. Senate as the next NASA administrator, succeeding Sean O'Keefe. December 6, Gane Magda is appointed as first Director General of the International Thermonuclear Experimental Reactor. Other events. February 8, Yale University wins more than $1 million in damages and attorney's fees, along with the patent rights relating to electrospray ionization from former professor and Nobel Prize winner John Fenn. Publications. Jorge East. Hush publishes his proposal for an H index to quantify a scientist's publication productivity. Deaths. February 3, Ernst Mayr B., 1904, German-American evolutionary biologist. February 6, Hubert Curien B., 1924, French physicist, president of CERN and first chairman of ESA. February 10 D. Alan Bromley B., 1926, Canadian-American director of Yale's W. Wright Nuclear Structure Laboratory. March 6, Hans Bethe B., 1906, German-American Nobel laureate in physics 1967 for his discoveries concerning the energy production mechanism in stars. March 30, Stanley J. Korsmeyer B., 1950, American cell biologist. June 20. Charles David Keeling B., 1928, American climate scientist, first to make frequent measurements of atmospheric carbon dioxide sea upward concentration plotted on the Keeling curve. Jacobi B., 1923, American electronics engineer, Nobel laureate in physics 2000 for his work on integrated circuits. July 16, John Ostrom B., 1928, American paleontologist, pioneer of the dinosaur renaissance. August 21, Robert Moog B., 1934, pioneer of electronic music. August 31, Sir Joseph Rotblat B., 1908, Polish-born British nuclear physicist, Nobel laureate in peace. October 28, Richard Smiley B., 1943, American Nobel laureate in chemistry in 1996 for the discovery of a new form of carbon, Buckminster fullerene. November 16, Henry Taub B., 1915, Canadian-American Nobel laureate in chemistry 1983 for his work in the mechanisms of electron transfer reactions, especially in metal complexes.